Hello and welcome. I am Indrajit Nag and I am going to talk to you about what others are talking about: psychology of colors. I would like to begin this with excerpts from a white paper based on work by Angela Wright, psychologist of Queen Mary's Hospital, Roehampton, England, and Carmel, California, USA, who studies both unconscious thought processes and the dynamics of color harmony in her exploration of color psychology. Angela Wright formulated a clear hypothesis which became the basis of color affects system, an academically sound and demonstrably effective system that crossed cultural boundaries and for the first time enabled color psychology to be applied objectively, rationally, and with remarkable accuracy. During the 1990s and the early 2000s, the system was subjected to stringent scientific scrutiny at world-class academic levels and found to hold true consistently. Having the longest wavelength, 665 to 700 nanometer, red is a powerful color. Although technically not the most visible, it has the property of appearing to be nearer than it is, and therefore it grabs our attention first. Hence its effectiveness in traffic lights the world over. Its effect is physical. It stimulates us and raises the pulse rate, giving the impression that time is passing faster than it is. It relates to the Maxwellian principle and can activate the fight or flight instinct. Red is strong and very basic. Pure red is the simplest color. With no subtlety, it is stimulating and lively, very friendly. At the same time, it can be perceived as demanding and aggressive. I will now tell you what Scientific American has to say about the color red. Scientific American was founded by inventor and publisher Rufus M. Porter in 1845 as a 4-page weekly newspaper turning into a monthly in November 1921. They have gone on to become one of the world's most prestigious science magazines, its articles solidly based on scholarly research, well written and carefully edited, are accompanied by definitions of scientific terms and by illustrations. They have some very interesting facts to offer about the color red. It means luck in China, where the bridal wear is red, mourning in parts of Africa, and sex in Amsterdam's red light district. Perhaps the most famous example of the pigment's power comes from the animal perception. For hundreds of years, matadors have taunted bulls by flashing a red cape. According to bullfighting lore, the color choice is said to help hide bloodstains, but it may have other advantages. Whereas humans are trichomats, meaning that we have 3 types of retinal cones sensitive to long, medium, and short wavelengths, corresponding to red, green, and blue respectively. Cattle are dichromats. They possess only 2 kinds of cones. Another very interesting fact brought to light by Scientific American was about a firefighter while at the University of California, Santa Cruz Fire Department as an undergraduate student. He was initially disappointed to find out that its trucks were painted lime yellow. At the end of his first day on the job, he asked then the fire captain, Paul Bob, why it was so. Bob replied, because they are not ripe yet. In fact, Public Safety Department records show that the probability of a visibility-related accident is higher for a red and white bumper than for a lime yellow fire truck. Lime yellow, which falls in the middle of the color spectrum, is easy to see during the day when we rely on our trichromatic cone vision, and is the most visible wavelength at night when human vision is dominated by achromatic rods rather than cones. Red may mean fire, but lime yellow is the real eye-catcher. Next, I will bring to you what this organization called Verywell Mind has to say about the color red. Talking about themselves, Very Well Mind says, "We are dedicated to empowering you with the best answers to your most pressing health and wellness questions. For more than 20 years, we have worked hard to create and refine our curated library of comprehensive and trustworthy information. In color psychology, red provokes the strongest emotions of any color. Red is considered the warmest and the most contradictory of the colors. In fact, this fiery hue has more opposing emotional associations than any other color. Red is linked to passion and love as well as power and anger." Psychologists Andrew J. Elliott and Daniela Niesta-Kaiser, both then at the University of Rochester, found that male experimental participants perceived women as more attractive and sexually desirable when wearing red, as compared with seeing the same women in other colors or achromatic hues. Somehow red causes a viewer to favor one candidate over another. Nicolas Guégué of the University of South Brittany in France asked female confederates to wear red, pink or brown lipstick, or none at all, while sitting at a bar. Men approved women in red lipstick fastest and most often. Heightened contrast between eyes, lips and other facial features may make faces appear more feminine. In some species, red coloration signals testosterone-driven dominance. Evolutionary anthropologists Hill and Barton, both then at the Durham University, England, thus reasoned that red might confer a competitive edge in humans. They analyzed the outcomes among contestants based on attire in 4 combat sports in 2004 Summer Olympic Games: boxing, taekwondo, Greco-Roman wrestling and freestyle wrestling. Throughout the games, red and blue outfits and protective gear were assigned randomly to the athletes. If color had exerted no influence, there should have been an approximately equal number of wins and losses for the two hues. This was not the case, however. In all 4 sports, contestants wearing red won more fights than those in blue. Red is also used to convey danger in a non-literal way. Some examples include using the phrase "in the red" to describe financial loss, or red flag to indicate when something is wrong with a person or situation. People tend to associate red with negative, danger-bearing emotions. This could be because it is the color of fire, blood, and sometimes of poisonous or dangerous animals. Color is also known to increase your appetite by increasing your metabolism, which is why red is such a popular color in restaurants. Red can also represent power or relationship that can be found all over modern-day society. The power tie worn by businessmen across the globe is traditionally red. And don't forget the hallowed red carpet that is only rolled out for the most prestigious celebrities and dignitaries. According to some, this association with power and wealth is the reason why women find men dressed in red so attractive. David Robson from BBC Future has observed that most importantly, not all the findings of color psychology are robust enough to be fully trusted just yet. Quoting Andrew Elliott at the University of Rochester in New York State, "I think the work is at a very early stage of development. Psychologists still need to replicate their results and investigate exactly when the different effects occur, so that we can be sure that the early findings aren't just red herrings